They were high literature. I'd rather have them than gangster rap, honestly. So, okay, that's just a personal preference, I guess. Now, so he then said, after learning what his younger son had done to him, what we just said, "Cursed be Canaan, he shall be his brother's meanest slave. Blessed be Yahweh, God of Shem." Yahweh, you see, is Shem's God. Shem is the father of the Semites. That's where we get the term Semite from, the name of Shem. We're going to follow Shem's line. He will be the preferred line. But why does the God then say, "May God extend to Japhet, and may he live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his slave"? Notice God is used in the song, though I think this is a Yahweh story. By the way, we get back into the Elohist priestly in the very next line. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. See, we don't need this story. We could tack that next line, 28, 29, onto line 17. God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant I will stop between myself and every living thing." After the flood, Noah lived 350 years, and all Noah's life lasted. You see, that's just back into the old thing. So we don't even. But he's had to put it in somewhere. The writer, the editor, has got this material on his table, so he splices it in here. I'm glad he did, because we wouldn't want to lose that bit of ancient information, however scurrilous it is. And he may live in the tents of Shem. Why do you think Japhet can live in the tents of Shem? What's behind that? That, I think, tells you something about when this was written. Why do you think that? Well, if you look at the genealogies, and we'll come to them, Japhet is basically what we would call the Indo-European peoples. That's why the linguists, German linguistic theorists of the 19th century divided things up into Semitic languages from Shem, and then Hamitic from Ham, African and other languages from Ham, and then Japhet, they didn't call it Japhet, they called that Indo-European. And three sort of language groups. So Japhet is really Europeans and others of that ilk all the way across the steppes of Central Asia. So back to the genealogy, line 10, chapter 10. Forget the little snippet there from the priestly material. I think we're back into a Yahweh's genealogy here. 10:1. Even though it looks like it could be otherwise. Anyway, it's a very messy genealogy, which is why I think it's probably Yahweh's. The Elohist genealogy, you'll see, comes in 11:10. You see 11:10? These are Shem's descendants. Now, we've heard that before. Such were the generations of heaven and earth when they were created. You know, these are Noah's descendants. These are Shem's. That gets back into the priestly line, 11:10. You see that? And then it just goes down in the same way, all the way down to Abraham.
I've heard the Canaanites. Are they considered Africans?
Well, let's go back to the genealogy,
No,
and
they're
then
not.
we'll see, because I'm going to go back now.
All right, just kind of curious.
Yeah, because
I
that's
just kind of wonder what your take is on
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm not. I'm going to go back now. That's in the genealogies, and the Yahweh, as we know, is not very scientific, and he's confused. So the question will come up is, let's look where these people appear in these genealogies. Okay, look at chapter 10. I didn't answer my question about Japhet. The reason Japhet is getting special treatment, and the reason it shows you, and I said this is Yahweh's genealogy, the reason Japhet's getting special attention is because it's probably written in the period of David, this material, at least in the form we have it. Not maybe its final form, but that particular genealogy or material song. The reason is, if you look at David's champions, some of David's champions were non-Jews, were fighting with him. In particular, Uriah the Hittite, who he later has killed because he takes his wife from him. Now, Uriah the Hittite is definitely a people from the north. The Hittites have come south here in Syria and Transjordan, but they originally were up in Asia Minor, what we now call Turkey. And they were Indo-European peoples. probably next to Troy and those places, one of the neighboring peoples of the Trojans. They came from, they had a big empire in central Anatolia, Asia Minor. It was Greek in those days. And they came down into this area at some point, and then they lost their power to some extent, and some of their military groups, professional soldier class, entered the service of local kings like David. So you see, Shem extended hospitality to Japhet in his tents. Japhet had come down. Shem, David's ancestor, extended hospitality in his tents to Japhet. It probably relates to this period when the Hittites were close allies of the Hebrews. And that is the 10th century, not before. Because you can also say that the Philistines were Greekish people. We know enough about the Philistines from archaeology that we know that they are a group of Mycenaeans from Mycenae in the Peloponnesus, the same people that fought the Trojan War. And their pottery, their implements, their chariots, everything are Mycenaean, we know from the archaeology. And they seem to be descendants of a people that attacked Egypt in around that 11th, 12th century BC period, who the Egyptians had trouble fighting off of. I don't know if I have a picture of them, but there are some pictures of them on some of the tombs. The Egyptians call them the Sea Peoples. Let's see if I can find it. If I got them in the back here. See if I will be able to find this thing. I can never find anything. Well, anyway, that's the problem with these books. You can never find what you're looking for in any case. But let's see, maybe the book of Samuel. 155. Let's see, maybe this might give it to me.
Are you looking for the Hittite?
No, I'm looking for the Sea Peoples. I'm looking for the pictures of the Sea Peoples that come off of Egyptian tombs, and they have feathered headdresses, and they're fighting the Egyptians from their boats. In any case, I can't find it there, and that's the problem with books like that. You never find what you're looking for until 10 months later. But the Philistines are probably also a similar people to the Hittites. And they invade the coast at this time, and they settle on the coast. The same way the Normans invaded the French coast and settled in Normandy. And they were really Norsemen. The Philistines are really Greco-Asian